The court rules Aruba and Curaçao must extend same-sex marriage rights. A court on Tuesday ruled that Aruba and Curaçao must allow same-sex couples to marry. The Joint Court of Justice of Dutch West Caribbean countries has jurisdiction over the three constituent countries in that group, including Aruba, Curaçao, and Sint Maarten, and 3 special municipalities, Bonaire, Sint Eustatius, and Saba, within the Netherlands, issued a ruling in 2 marriage equality cases that Fundacion, Orguyo, Aruba, and Human Rights Caribbean in Curaçao filed on behalf of 2 women who want marriage rights in Aruba and Curaçao. The ruling said, quote, "The court has come to the conclusion that extending same-sex marriage is in violation of the prohibition of excluding same-sex marriage is in violation of the prohibition of discrimination and incompatible with state regulations," end quote. Same-sex couples cannot legally marry in Aruba, Curaçao, and Sint Maarten. The countries, however, must recognize same-sex marriages from the Netherlands, Bonaire, Sint Eustatius, and Saba. Cuba, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Sint Maarten, and St. Barts are the other jurisdictions in the Caribbean in which same-sex couples can legally marry. Aruba's registered partnership law took effect in September 2021. Action 21, the centrist party that's openly gay Senator Miguel Mansur chairs, in June introduced a marriage equality bill. Janice John Shin Key of Human Rights Caribbean on Tuesday told the Washington Blade during a telephone interview the ruling could take effect as early as March 7th next year if the Curaçaoan government does not appeal it to the Dutch Supreme Court in The Hague. First, I want to apologize for every mangled pronunciation of Dutch names during that entirely read-through.
Bobby, I would suggest you just book yourself on a 14-night cruise through the Caribbean and just learn them and visit them each individually. You'll be better for it, trust me on that.
Well, and secondly, good for the Dutch, and good for the, and I think that it is, well, about them time. Okay, we're just gonna keep using that phrase just today. But we are, I think, partly, obviously, the part of the Caribbean that are more likely to grant same-sex marriage right now are basically territories that are run by EU countries, France and the Dutch, respectively, and of course the United States, where Puerto Rico is the territory of.
Right. Throughout the Caribbean, there's still our LGBT siblings in the Caribbean. They're still facing a lot of
so much hate.
Right, yeah,
Oh,
there's so much
absolutely.
hate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Dutch island, the group of Dutch islands making that step forward is an important thing happening. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think 1, it's a step in the right direction, right? 2, now we have to face the systemic homophobia that exists in those countries, so that our queer brethren are protected and can live their lives openly. But also, I was surprised that it took a court ruling, because I know Curaçao has been promoting themselves as a queer-friendly destination. So it's surprising that they didn't take that initiative on their own.
Yeah, destination. But don't move or bring the wedding.
Yeah,
card.
exactly.
Yeah, but
we want your money in that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a pink dollar. It's the pink dollars at work. I mean, queer tourism is a huge industry, and some countries even they ban same-sex marriage. I mean, Israel. Israel promotes the Pride a lot, Tel Aviv Pride. I mean, but you know, they have no gay marriage.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I am split on this story and how I feel about it. Obviously, marriage is very important. And it is, it should be a universal right. We shouldn't still be having court rulings or votes or anything like that. It should just be a universal right. But that said, I'm also not loving that this came from a court that is basically based in the Netherlands or taking its orders from the EU, because it is a remnant also of colonialism, which holds a lot more insidious roots in this part of the world. And so the fact that they're still being dictated to by Europeans is very disturbing for me, but marriage should also be legal, yes, across the board and around the world.
Yeah.
Movement forward is movement forward. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.